unusual options flow. So options flow uncovers large and unusual options trades to monitor what other traders and institutions are doing. So firstly, guys, if you haven't already, make sure to check out Webull. Right now you can get 12 free stocks valued up to $32,000 by using my link in the description below. Webull is a commission-free online trading platform that allows you to invest in stocks, options, and crypto. So go ahead and check out Webull, guys. I'll put a link to them in the description below. Now, for today's video, I'm going to be using Optionstrat. So this is a very, this should be a very familiar product to you guys. I use Optionstrat a lot for a lot of my options videos. And so when it comes to Optionstrat, they do offer some of these features that I'm going to be using for free. However, if you're using the free version, I think data will be delayed by like 15 minutes. And not all alerts are going to be shown. So if you do want to upgrade to the premium version, guys, and get full access to use and see, do everything that I'm going to show you here today, I'll put a link to that in the description below. If you use my link, you can actually get 25% off. So let's go ahead and let's take a look here at this. So I'm going to go into flow here, and I'm just going to go into flow summary. So basically, when it comes to Optionstrat and this flow, Optionstrat scans every trade on the market and filters out noise to show us what the potential smart money is doing. And what I really like about Optionstrat, unlike any other flow tools that I've seen, is that they can actually detect complex strategies as well, as I'm going to show you here today. So basically what I mean by that is when you use other flow tools, they're only going to show buying put, buying calls, selling puts. Optionstrat will actually also show you more advanced strategies that the smart money is doing or using, like iron condors, debit spreads, credit spreads, strangles, straddles, and all those other strategies. Again, I'm going to show you that here very soon. But let's start right here, okay? So right now, we're on the daily flow summary here. So basically, this is showing us what stocks have the highest amount of bullish or bearish flow here. And this is a great place to start when you're looking for ideas on what to potentially trade today or whatever day it is. Now, this is also sorted. So the top is going to be on this side, right? The more bullish stocks right now. Then on the right is going to be the more bearish stocks here. So if you take a look at the bullish flow side, we see IWM is at the top, followed by Meta, followed by QQQ, right? And so on and so forth. So these are sorted. Behind the scenes, Optionstrat takes a look at a lot of different things to calculate this. I'm not sure what those things are, but ultimately they calculate it and they come up with this list here. Okay, so again, this is a great place to start when you're potentially looking for a bullish trade, when you're looking at the bullish flow, or a bearish trade, looking at the bearish flow. Now, let's take a look here at what we see. So let's just take a look at this one right here, IWM. So we see a couple numbers here, right? So this first number, right, so 18, tells us how many different trades were detected for IWM. This is for the day here, for today. And then the number besides this, 28.6 million, is the amount of value for all these 18 trades combined, right? So there, it basically uncovered 18 unusual trades for IWM here today that totals $28.6 million, right? That's a huge bet on IWM here. Now, one thing I do want to mention here, guys, okay, is that do not just come in here and, look at these and just, go and place a trade blindly, right? Like, don't come in here and you see IWM at the top, so you go and buy a call on IWM. Right? That's not how this is intended to be used. You use this again as a place to start, right? A place to find some ideas. After you've seen this, go and take a look at a chart for IWM, right? Is there something happening? Is it, at a strong support level? Has it bounced off support multiple times? Is there a chart pattern forming? Is there news that came out that might potentially send the stock going higher? Same thing with the bearish flow side, right? So again, do not just come in here and, blindly place a trade because you see this. Now, what we can do here is we can actually click on this. So let's go ahead and click on this one, for example. This will actually then show us those trades made here today on IWM. So let's take a look here. So again, this is for the day. So if we go down, we can see at 8:37, all right, IWM, and we actually see that this was a put spread here, right? Sell 175, 165 puts expiring October 21st for $798,000. Right, then over here we see someone sold a put, $185 strike, expiring September 30 for $254,000. So again, as you guys can see, right, it's not just showing you calls and puts that were bought and sold. It also has all these other strategies as well. Bull put spreads, put condors, combos, and a lot of different things, right? Bull put spreads. So it's not just showing us puts and calls that were bought and sold. They can actually also detect these more complex strategies, right? So again, here you can kind of take a look at all the different trades that it's detected for IWM for the day. And again, the strategy is here, expiration, premium, and the type. And we'll get more into that here in a second, right? So anyways, that's this first tab here. Again, this is the daily flow summary here. Now let's actually go into this next one, this live flow. This is where you're gonna mainly spend your day on looking at. So this is basically where it shows us the trades as they're being made. And again, if you don't have the premium version, I believe this is 15 minutes delayed, right? If you have the premium version, these are coming in real time, as you guys can see here, right? It's being updated in real time here. So basically, again, this is showing us the trades as they're being made. Now, let me explain a couple of different things here, right? So when you look at one of these, right? So each one of these represents a trade that is being made. Now, if you take a look at the symbol and the premium, they're gonna have the same color. So if you see one that has a green color, a lighter green like this means that it's a bullish trade that's being entered here. Now, if you see one that's light red, like these two and these right here, right? Again, the ticker and the premium are going to have the same color. If you see the ones that have this light red, that means that it's a bearish trade that is being entered. Now, if we scroll down here, let's see if we can find some of these. You can also find ones where the colors are dark green and dark red. So let me continue to scroll here. I know I had seen some not too long ago. So let's see. So right here, we actually have a white one. So when you see the ticker white, the premium white, this indicates that this is a neutral strategy, right? So this means that this is a strategy where you don't want the stock to go up in price, you don't want it to go down in price, you want it to kind of trade sideways. And if we take a look here, that is the case, right? Because this is a short strangle that somebody entered, right? Short strangle expiring December 16th. So this is a neutral strategy, right? So that's how you can identify them very quickly. You can just scroll down. If you see that this is white, the premium is white, this is going to be a neutral strategy. Let's continue to scroll down. So this one right here, this purple one, purple is a directional strategy. So a directional strategy means you want the stock to move one way or another. Now, if you take a look here, this is a strangle on AMD, multiple different strangles here, right? And so again, if you understand what a strangle is, right? A strangle, you buy a call, you buy a put, you want the stock to move one way or the other quite a bit. So again, if you're scrolling down here, you can quickly identify them by just looking at the color. When you see this purple, it's a directional strategy. It's going to be a strategy where the stock needs to move in one direction or the other quite a bit. So again, it's what I really like about Optionstrat. It doesn't just show us calls and puts being bought or sold. It also shows us all these other different strategies that it finds. But let's see here. So here's an example of a dark green, right? So in comparison to these light greens, you'll also see some that have a darker green. So these darker green colors, when you see the trade with a darker green, this means that it's extremely bullish, right? It's more bullish than the regular greens because basically it needs to move a lot more for the trade to be profitable. So this is, if you see a darker green, that means that it's extremely bullish. It's an extremely bullish trade. There, the person placing this trade should be extremely bullish for them to make money on it. Similarly here, let's see if I can find a dark red one here. So if I continue to scroll down, there should be one here soon. So let's see, dark red, dark red. Let's see here, dark red. So right here, right? Finally found one here. So again, we have this lighter red, which is just, bearish trade. But then sometimes you'll see these with a darker red. Hopefully you guys can see that it's a little bit darker than the lighter red. So again, this darker red is extremely bearish. Again, the reason being that the stock would need to make quite a bit of a move for them to be profitable here. So again, if you see this darker red, it indicates a more extremely bearish trade, more bearish than the regular red that you'll see here, right? So that's how you kind of identify different trades just based on the color. Again, so for example, here we have another white one, right? Again, that's a neutral strategy. And so, that's how you kind of identify that very quickly here. Now, let's take a look here at the next thing. So let's identify types here. So here we have a column that says type, right? And you see different things in here like sweep, split, we see block, you probably could find a couple of other ones, right? So let's just actually go through what all of these mean here because they can be very important. So they're actually going to also be shown here, right? So you can filter all of these, by the way, and I'll filter it here in a little bit. But let's just go through the different types here. So let's start with single. So single is basically going to represent a normal trade, right? So basically somebody entered a single trade. They entered into a single trade. So a normal trade, just like you would think of any normal trade. That's what single is. Now we also have split here. So split is when you enter multiple different trades. So multiple different trades are executed, but they're executed on a single exchange. That's what split means. Now sweep is also where orders get executed. Multiple different orders are getting executed, but they're actually getting executed across multiple different trades, multiple exchanges as well at once, right? And so because they're getting executed across multiple different exchanges, it could tell us that the individual is, it's an urgent larger order potentially, right? They're trying to get in as quickly as possible. So it could be urgent. Maybe they just found something that we don't know of yet, and they're trying to quickly get into the trade. So they go ahead and they execute it across multiple different exchanges so they can get in as quickly as possible. And then finally, we have block. So block is a privately negotiated order that are, they're basically traded off the exchanges. Okay, so that's kind of the different how you identify and interpret these different types here. Now, like I mentioned, you can filter, right? So you can use these filters here to basically just find things that you're looking for. So for example, let's say you're only looking for neutral trades. So you could just remove all of these here. And remember, the white identifies neutral trades. So now, as you can see, it shows us different neutral trades that it has identified for today, right? And so, for example, we see someone sold a straddle on RGLD. We see looks like someone sold a strangle on QQQ. We have an iron condor here on LLY, right? So you could, filter by that. Maybe you only want to see very bullish trades. So you can, filter just to see the ones that have that dark green that would identify very bullish, extremely bullish trades. So here are some extremely bullish trades potentially if you're looking for those. You can also filter by which side. Maybe you only want to look at buying, so you could filter to buy. Maybe you're only interested in selling. You could filter to sell. You could filter by the type. Filter, do you want to see stocks, just ETFs, small cap, mid cap, large cap, and then of course calls, put, spreads. and a couple other things, right? Like out of the money, volume, upcoming earnings, and a couple of different things there as well. So you can also filter by tickers. So let's say I wanted to see if anything has come in today for Apple. Maybe you want to place a trade on Apple and you want to see, what flow has come in for Apple, because maybe you don't want to trade against the flow, right? Maybe you don't want to trade against what potential smart money is doing. So again, you can filter this by Apple, and now it's showing me everything that's come in for Apple here for the day. And so you can come in here and you can take a look at what's going on. Now, one thing you can do here as well, which is pretty neat, so you can actually click on these. So for example, this one right here came in at 914. This was on Apple. Well, let's actually do this one below it. So this one came in at 914 on Apple. Looks like, this was a call that was bought at the 152.50 strike, expiring October 21st for $730,000. And this was a sweep. So again, a sweep is an order that gets executed across multiple trades and multiple exchanges. So they might have potentially been in a rush to get into this trade. So what we can do is I can actually click on this, and this will give us details here on the trade. So again, this was a long call on Apple, right? So they bought a call on Apple. This was the 152.50 strike expiring on October 21st. Looks like 1,090 call options were purchased here for $730,000, and that was a debit, so they paid to enter this trade. And then it shows us the price that, the average price that basically they paid for it. So about 670 or so. It's at 608 now, so they are down on it. Spot, this basically tells us what the price of Apple was when this trade was entered. So it was 152.99. Looks like it's at 151.73 now. It shows us the volume and the open interest here. Sentiment, this is a bullish trade. And then again, the type, which was sweep. And then down here, it shows us the performance here. So basically now, will tell us how the trade is doing right now. So right now, they are down 9.3% on these calls. At the high, they were up 0.4%. At the low, they were down 15%. And it actually also tells us the times, right? So at 9:14 was when they were at their high. 10:21 was when they were at their low. The lowest that it got to was they were down 15%. Right now they're down 9.3%, right? And you can actually also open this in Visualizer if you actually want to see this trade as well. But I'm not going to do that here. So again, it does allow you to see and view more information on these trades here that you guys are seeing. Right, so you can filter by ticker. Maybe here we only want to look at, maybe you only want to focus on puts. So you could filter and just look at puts here. Maybe you just want to look at buying here, or maybe you're looking to see if there's, is there any extremely bearish trades here? So the dark red, no, there's none. How about, dark green? No, there's none, right? So it's just regular bearish and then regular bullish as well, right? So again, very great tool. And in a future video, guys, I will show you how to really use this to your advantage. But even just what I've shown you guys here can really help you a lot. And again, this is a great place to start, when you're looking for a potential new trade, or even if you already have a trade in mind, and again, you just want to confirm it, you can come in here and see, hey, what's the flow for this ticker here today? Maybe you don't want to go against the flow, right? Things like that. So anyways, if you guys have any questions about anything I just talked about, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Check out the Discord, link to it in the description below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time.